Hello and welcome to the May 4th Hemp Show powered by CannTrade. My name is Mark Restelli. I'm the CEO of CannTrade and the host of the Hemp Show. Joining us next on the Hemp Show is Bryan Burke and Erik Kreider, the co-founders of Astral Organica. As a co-founder and the chief formulation chemist, Erik has a master's in biochemistry from Stanford University and a MBA. He spent his first 5 years of his career developing topical drug delivery systems for pharma companies and has been producing organic skincare products since 2005. Bryan has a degree in computer engineering, electrical engineering, and applied physics. He spent most of his career building medical devices, engineering management, and regulatory compliance, along with working in tech as a former software development manager at a major online retailer named after a giant river. Founded in 2020, Astral Organica is the result of Bryan and Erik's mutual interest in botanical alternative remedies. Their products are grounded in common sense biochemistry and are formulated and manufactured by Astral Organica in a certified organic facility. Thank you so much for joining us, Bryan and Erik, and welcome to the Hemp Show.
Thank you. Thank you, Mark.
Nice. I'm curious what that giant river was. I'm just kidding. Cool. So obviously you guys have a very extensive background as far as the accomplishments that you two have achieved prior to entering the hemp space. And I guess one of the things I just want to comment on before we really dive into it here is the professionalism that's really kind of gravitated toward the hemp space. I mean, back starting the cannabis space 10 years ago, and I mean, you would never see someone with your types of pedigrees in this space, and now it's really completely flipped 180, which is great. But I'd love to dive into not only how Astral Organica got started, but what has been that process like for you in entering the hemp space as a whole.
Want to tackle that? Or? Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. It's been interesting. We've been beta testing products since 2017. And Erik originally wasn't very convinced around the power in the medicine of CBD, but we found out getting some phenomenal results. We then started going to some trade shows and seeing the competing products that were out there. That helped us further define the pipeline for us of what we were going to bring to the market. And Erik, as a biochemist, you could probably talk a little bit about what you saw and the people that we talked to when we were at some of those shows.
Yeah, sure. I mean, in general, a lot of the formulas were very kind of classical in their chemistry and not all that interesting. And given the interest in organic ingredients and really bioidentical ingredients. So, I mean, our ethic there is we're using ingredients that your body makes use of, and that's an important thing, and simple sets of ingredients. So anybody can understand them and you really get going. But there are a lot of formulas out there that just were not made with natural ingredients and were kind of the classic petrochemical formulas that really aren't particularly good for you and lead to bioaccumulation and other problems. So that was really exciting. We also were really struck by the fact that it seemed like there were a lot of different vendors and a lot of different brands, but very few different formulas. So, and it turned out that a lot of there maybe were just a handful of manufacturers and then a whole lot of different companies were private labeling those classic generic formulas. So therein, we really got confidence in looking at the market and the offerings that we could offer some fabulous innovative products that, could make a splash and change things.
Right. And I think we talked about this briefly. I mean, I've encountered a ton of businesses that do white labeling and they just have a very generic product and they're just slapping tens of hundreds of labels on it, and someone else is out there kind of out there pushing it. It says their brand. However, yeah. you guys come from a very different aspect of that. I mean, to be totally honest, when I mentioned 10 years ago, the space being very different, I mean, I know a ton of people who have developed skin creams in their own kitchens. I mean, not to say that they don't, do what they're supposed to do, or they're not great products, but you bring an entirely different skill set to the mix, especially with your background in biochemistry and creating organic skincare lines for so long, that it seems to me like you've taken all of that and you've added these amazing ingredients, right? The cannabinoids from the plant to then increase the potential efficacy of what the skin cream is supposed to do. So yeah. Yeah, it's very, very exciting.
Agreed.
So we'll diving in here. Sorry to cut you off there. Do you have any about the products? I'd love to talk specifically about the line and the products.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Yeah, right. So our flagship product is our magnesium CBD cream. Get that up there a little closer, maybe. So magnesium and CBD. People don't know a whole lot about magnesium in terms of its utility in our bodies, and I'm always kind of struck by the fact that it doesn't get more interest from Western medicine, because magnesium is an extraordinarily critical mineral nutrient, and especially so in the functionality of our nervous system. So it's the natural pathway by which your nervous system relaxes. So magnesium sort of acts as a switch that turns on the relaxed state of your nervous system. And if you don't have enough magnesium in the tissue locally, your nervous system is inherently hyperactive. And so if you do have some sort of pain stimulus or chronic pain, anything, your nervous system is just always on, and you're going to have more problems. So people particularly in the CBD space understand that CBD has a lot of great relaxation and pain relieving properties. But we've incorporated the magnesium into that product as well, and a fabulous cream that absorbs very readily. It's loaded with antioxidant, vitamin E, essential fatty acids, also shea butter. And it's a wonderful option to enhance people's capacity to relax and really minimize the pain responses that that gradually plague us more and more as we age. We're really active and love skiing and getting out there and doing stuff, and we're just finding that as we get older, we need some help. So it certainly helps us keep going and maximize the enjoyment of our life when we're out recreating.
One of the surprises that we encountered with the magnesium cream is that Erik took it, we were on a ski trip, and Erik took it to the masseuse and asked them to use it on him. And next thing we know, the masseuse is asking us about where can they get the product, because they love the glide. And so in addition to just a pain relief cream, it's also pretty good as a massage cream.
Yeah, it's great for relaxation in general. Magnesium and CBD work to relax your nervous system, which is great for sleep. It's great for just relaxing, minimizing stress, and then of course pain is all related to the excited nervous system. You relax the nervous system, you're going to have fewer issues with the pain response.
Excellent. So I was going to actually ask what the primary use case for the CBD cream would be. I mean, it sounds to me like nearly everything. I mean,
pretty much. Absolutely. Yeah, I totally agree. It's really a multi-use product, and it's really great for a variety of conditions. We get regular, emails from people saying, "Yeah, my mom has awful fibromyalgia, and she's been using your stuff, and it's literally changed her life." I mean, it gives me chills talking about it, because I had a daughter of a lady call me up in tears, because she was like, "You don't understand that my mom was suicidal and on tramadol and all sorts of prescription narcotics, and I gave her some of your stuff, and she's not taking tramadol anymore, and she has a new lease on life." So really exciting. Yeah, really.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Yeah. You guys need to write a story about that. I want to see, I'd love to,
Yeah.
I mean, dead serious, like a story and a video about that would be amazing to help tell the story of Astral Organica and how it's helping people. So I just had a thought here. One, as a former professional football player, in the training rooms, they typically have these big jugs of different creams, whether it's lotions, like Tiger Balm type stuff to just rub on before or after you get off the field. It would be awesome to have one of those, have an Astral Organica, giant jug there, that with one of those big kind of push down squirters for all the athletes. I mean, especially all the ailments that we face on a daily basis, even to this day. I mean, especially not only while you're playing with all the injuries then too, but the arthritis that's generated. I mean, I've got arthritis all over my body. I mean, just look at this pinky.
Yeah.
That's a very arthritic pinky right there, with a whole bunch of other issues, which I'm not going to dive into here. But going back, so you guys mentioned, so Bryan, you mentioned that you started kind of the formulation stuff in 2017, and that in the bio here, it was your two mutual interest in botanical alternative remedies. So can you talk a bit about what that process looked like? How did you two come together and decide to really launch Astral Organica?
Sure. I reached out into my network of friends out here in Colorado, which was pretty short at the time. I hadn't been here that long.
Shows you where you were. You want to stay
As the CBD world was starting to really blossom, and found through my network a bunch of people that had different ailments. I was working at that large river named company at the time, and thought that this is something that would fly, but needed some proof to get the confidence to actually leave it. And so we collected a group of beta testers. One of our biggest beta testers is former arena cross, supercross, semi-pro racer, really banged up dude. We have a cancer survivor with neuropathy, was testing a lot of our early products, and then just various people with more activity-induced ailments like ourselves. They go hiking, biking, motorcycle riding, skiing, and just we wound up just sharing some beta products with them. Initially, we were exploring the entourage effect and even spiking THC with CBD. At the time, but ultimately we wanted to start a conservative business that was a little bit more affordable to get into. So right now, all of our products are made with THC remediated CBD. And coming from the medical device space, I'm familiar with how clinical trials go. I won't say that our rigor was to that of a clinical trial, but we did have long follow-up interviews and pre-screenings actually of all of our beta testers. Typically they would be a half hour to start and go an hour to an hour and a half during each session of testing the products to make sure that we were like really dialing in, and not only on was it effective, but also did people find the formulations pleasant. And so we have some things in the pipeline right now that we think are pretty advanced prototypes, but there's still, we do a lot of beta testing on everything we do. And that's, as Erik mentioned, we launched with essentially just one product, the magnesium CBD cream, and have brought several other products to the market now that are available on CannTrade.
Excellent. Well, I mean, it's important to stay focused, especially launch with a product, make it amazing. And it seems as if with your expertise that you guys did it correctly, right? You didn't just dive in and create a product and then get it out in the world and see how it goes. You decided to say, hey, we're going to beta test this product. We're going to make sure it's the best possible product it can be before it hits the market. I mean, yeah. If I had done the same, I would have saved a lot of time and money in the past. So I learn new things every day. Now, you mentioned some other products. Can you talk a bit about some of the other products you have available as well, and then some of the products that are coming down the pipeline?
Sure.
You want to talk about available?
Yeah,
products?
sure. So presently, yeah, we've also got a lip balm variety of great CBD lip balms. They're made with cherry kernel oil, organic cherry kernel oil, which is a really unusual oil that's not very much found in personal care products at all, but is a wonderful, rich, high essential fatty acid and vitamin E oil. Wonderful product. It remains, soft and usable at pretty much all temperatures, from very hot, it won't melt, in your pocket, and also when it's very, very cold in the Rockies at, -9 degrees, we've tested it and it still goes on nice and smoothly.
Nice. It's not rock solid when you go to pull it out.
Exactly. Yeah, it's still really usable. Which is really important for lip balms. But it's a really nice product. We've got cinnamon, wintergreen, peppermint, tingle, which has menthol and camphor in it, and unflavored and flavored. So a variety of flavors there, and we use certified organic essential oils as the flavors. So they're just completely natural ingredients that you find, in your kitchen potentially, in the various herbs. And then we also do a hand sanitizer with let's see if I'm getting it on this.
Oh yeah, I can see it.
With CBD as well. The hand sanitizer is a really nice product too. It's super, super pure in terms of being methanol free. It's actually a higher purity in terms of methanol content than what whiskey has. So you're actually getting more neurotoxin in your whiskey than in our hand sanitizer. And it imparts a silky smooth finish after you're done. So it's not going to trash your hands and leave them cracked and bleeding and awful. It's a really fine product, and just is a wonderful thing if you're into using that regularly.
Okay, very cool. So Brian, looks like you went and grabbed something. We've only got we're a little bit over on time, so we got to wrap it up very quick here. But what'd you bring over to show us?
Fantastic.
These are a couple other products, but these are a couple. Sierra, I'll let him talk to you more about some products that are in the pipeline. So we'll get onto that.
So yeah, just real quickly, we are working with a registered nurse esthetician to bring out facial serum products. We also are experimenting with new essential oils for scent and flavor profiles. We have a hand cream that's pretty close to launching, and we're also working on a mineral-based sunscreen, which we're really excited about. That will be reef safe.
Yep.
Very cool. So when did you say reef safe?
Yes. So a lot of the
Nice.
yeah.
No, I'm very familiar with reef safe. I've got believe it or not, I've got six saltwater aquariums in my garage. So so I'm all about the ocean, huge ocean guy. But we've run out of time. I'm gonna have to have you guys back on, definitely, and especially when you have the new products available. So once you launch those, let's jump on and talk more about them. If you're interested in connecting with Bryan and Erik and Astral Organica, please add them to your network on CannTrade. You can also place orders and ask questions directly from the Astral Organica wholesale store, posted in the webinar chat, also in the CannTrade feed and in the podcast and YouTube show notes. Thank you very much, guys, for joining us.
See ya.
Awesome.